Welcome back. Today we're making this absolutely delicious gluten-free funfetti cake. So we're going to start off by making the cake batter, and we're combining our gluten-free flour with a bit of granulated sugar and then baking powder and salt. Once you have all your dry ingredients in your large bowl, you're going to whisk it together. You can also make this in a stand mixer and use a paddle attachment or a whisk attachment. So once your dry ingredients are combined, you're going to add in your unsalted butter and reverse cream that into your dry ingredients until you have a mixture that kind of looks sandy like this. Then we're mixing in our room temperature egg whites. It's really important that the room temperature, or else it can kind of cause the mixture to look almost curdled because of the butter, so just keep that in mind. Once the eggs are fully incorporated, we're adding in our buttermilk. You want to do this on a low speed, or else you can sometimes have that a little bit of splatter. And then our final ingredients are vegetable or canola oil and vanilla and almond extract. Whenever I make anything gluten-free, I like to mix on high at the end for about a minute. This helps give the batter a little bit of a better structure. Because there is no gluten in the flour, it doesn't have a classic structure like you would with all-purpose, so don't be afraid to mix a little bit extra at the end to help make that texture turn out right. The last step is to fold in our sprinkles, and then we're dividing our batter evenly between our pans. These are just 3 6-inch pans that I prepared with parchment rounds and a little bit of nonstick baking spray. Once our cake layers had baked and cooled, it's time to assemble our cake. So I'm frosting this cake with a vanilla almond buttercream, but if you have any aversion or allergy to almonds or nuts, you can totally omit the almond extract and just use vanilla. I also love to add sprinkles on top of the frosting between the cake layers because I feel like it adds a really wonderful texture, so when you bite into the cake, you really have a delicious crunch in every bite. After I had stacked my cake layers, I covered the cake in a thin crumb coat, which is really just a super thin layer of frosting that traps in all those crumbs or bits of sprinkles to make sure that your second layer of frosting turns out super smooth. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, your crumb coat, but the smoother you get it, I think the easier time you have smoothing out your second coat of frosting. So I always like to use both my offset spatula and my bench scraper to really get some nice sharp edges. Once I was happy with my frosting, I chilled the cake in the freezer for about 5 minutes until the frosting was firm to the touch. Then I began to work on my second layer of buttercream. Once I had smoothed out the top of the cake, I started working on the sides. Now for this cake, I really wanted to make it a striped cake just because I hadn't done one in a while and I really love the look. I think it's so pretty and so fun and playful. So I smoothed out this layer of frosting, and you really want it to be as smooth as possible because the smoother your frosting is, the better the lines will be that you make in the frosting with your frosting comb. I'm using a metal comb like this that has some thicker stripes and some thinner stripes, but you can use whatever frosting comb you have on hand. As you can see, after my first pass, my lines were not super smooth, so you want to scrape off your excess frosting from your scraper as you go and do a few rounds to really make sure those lines are clean, because the better this layer of lines is, the smoother your stripes will end up being in the end. So I heated up my bench scraper to really get my lines as perfect as possible. Then I chilled the cake in the freezer for about 10 minutes until the frosting was firm to the touch, and used some colorful pink and blue buttercream to fill in between those gaps. Then it was time to smooth out our frosting, which it always looks so terrible on your first pass around. It just looks like you are smearing frosting all over your cake, but trust the process. After a few passes around the cake, your stripes should start to look a bit more defined. I also love to run my bench scraper under hot water, dry it off, and then have the heat from the bench scraper really help smooth everything out. It gives the cake a really beautiful finished look, and it makes it so much easier to get super smooth sides on your cake. Once I was happy with my stripes, I added a matching sprinkle blend around the base of the cake, and then I added a pink drip. And sadly, after my test strip, my camera stopped recording because the battery died, but I have a super wonderful tutorial that's very in-depth on how to add drips onto your cake, and I'll link it above. So once I added the drips onto the cake, I covered the top of the cake with that remaining hot pink ganache. And once I chilled the cake and let the ganache set, which is super important, otherwise sometimes your buttercream dollops can slide right off your cake, which I've had happen. So once my ganache was set, I piped on some buttercream dollops using my 3 colors of frosting of white, pink, and blue. So I run around the cake doing this. I'm using a Wilton 1M tip here to make each dollop. And once the top was covered, the final step was to, of course, add on a few more sprinkles. And just like that, our gluten-free funfetti cake was all ready to go. So this decoration is obviously totally optional. This was actually my birthday cake this year, so I wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. But you can definitely stick with a regular frosting side. You do not have to go for the stripes or the drips. This cake is super delicious, and the recipe is up on Chelsweets.com if you want to make it at home. And I hope you guys had as much fun watching this video as I did making this cake. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, happy baking.